This is my friend Glenn Gorab. He's a dentist in Clifton, New Jersey. So he operates in the Jersey, Connecticut, New York, tri-state area. He's actually an oral surgeon, not just a regular dentist. There are 435 oral surgeons in that region. And look, they all do the same thing. There's nobody has like a magic tooth laser. It's a pretty established business. And they all charge mostly the same. It's mostly Medicare, Medicaid, right? Nobody's like, hey, here's what we're gonna do, save on mouthsurgery.com. Like, that's not a business model, I don't think. 434 competitors, same services, basically the same price. Tough business. So how do you compete as an oral surgeon? How do you even pick an oral surgeon? Well, usually it's geography. Who's pretty close to your house? Who's pretty close to your office? Not Glenn. He is the #1 rated oral surgeon out of 435. And also, as of last time I spoke to him, even though he's in his 60s, the only one who's never been sued. It's a really litigious form of practice, form of medicine. Only one. So I said, well, Glenn, I mean, clearly, you are the best oral surgeon for 3 states. No, I'm not. Why were you so quick to say that? Are you some kind of a butcher? He's like, no, I'm a good surgeon, don't get me wrong. I'm not the best though. Well, why do you run the best business? He answers before they ask. Every Friday, his office staff gives him a list of names and phone numbers. And Saturday morning, he calls each of these people just on his actual cell phone. Hi, this is Glenn. I'm your oral surgeon. I understand that you're coming to the office for the very first time next week. Before you get here, I was just wondering if you had any questions I could answer. Blows people's minds. Now, I bet you most of us here have had some kind of oral surgery, right? You've had a wisdom tooth, a root canal, or something. And if you had a good surgeon, and I hope you did, they will call you after. Hey, Celeste, how's the pain? How you doing, darling? Are you bleeding to death? Those are usually the questions you get, and that's nice to hear, but they already took your money and cut you open. It's kind of the minimum they can do, really. But I'll bet you none of you have had a physician or an accountant or an attorney or an educator call you to answer questions before you ever set foot on the premises. It's just not done. But it should be done. Glenn tells me that every single day, somebody calls his office and says, I've got to drive 5 miles out of the way. I've got to pass up 4 other oral surgeons who are closer, but I want you to be my oral surgeon because you're the one who called my friend Celeste before she ever came to the office. If you're going in for oral surgery or you're going to try and treat your gut health issues for the very first time, one thing you've got is questions. So instead of having them carry those questions around in an anxiety backpack, he just proactively takes them away. And 50% of his customers mention the call when they're in the chair. They're tipped back. He's got his hands in their mouth. Oh, thanks so much for calling me, Doc.